I mean, we should probably explore both ways just to see what we're dealing with. This might turn out to be a convenient way to traverse the city unseen. Or at least to certain places.
And without your provided light sources, anything that you will create, whether it's magic or mundane, there is no light down here.
Oh,
It's also a bit it's a bit suffocating. It induces feelings of claustrophobia, although I can't exactly speak for any of your characters and what they might feel. It's old air that has rarely seen circulation, and with how much rubble and devastation there's been, it's quite possible that so many chunks of what would allow air to circulate through has been crushed. And so there's just big, huge blocks of rubble that would be blocking normal circulation.
Well, Fargus is certainly not a fan.
Do there appear to be any iron pieces laying on this side of the room? Or this side of this room, I suppose?
No, there do not.
That would imply that the door was busted down from the outside.
Yes.
Yes. The only problem with that is that the etchings asking me to make a key were on the inside.
Well, what do you suppose the key is for?
An iron door.
I don't think you need that key anymore then.
He sort of frowned slightly. No, I don't think this was the iron door.
So are you just going to make that
points
key?
to the sewer. So it says, I don't see any treasure in there.
No, although there are numerous corners and either tunnel of the sewer extends off into darkness beyond the light.
So the plan is to just wander around the sewer and look for iron doors. Although I suppose, well, since the floor lit up rather spectacularly, I don't think it's just going to be some random iron door we are looking for then.
Well, which way then?
Well, since we don't know our destination, either way is correct. Doesn't really matter, does
let's
it?
go this way.
Alright. All of you...
To make sure we can find our way back.
Do all of you step out of the little basement room into the sewer tunnel?
Mm-hmm.
I would assume so.
Dark, roll me a d20. Okay. Alright. As Leon steps out into the tunnel, a fell sensation briefly visits his mind. It's an initial feeling of skin crawling, as if there were some sort of invasive spirit, and for a brief moment, the thought crosses his mind that his skin is not his own. However, he quickly recovers, and along with that gets an eerie sensation, the thought that he's been here before, and another thought that he knows where to go, and his feet sort of begin itching and tapping, trying to guide him somewhere.
Okay then. Leon, as he comes out, will pause blank for a moment. Look. It's hard to say why, how to explain it, but I think I might actually know where something is down here. These two.
Alright.
I'm sure you'd like a better explanation, but it's not easy to say, just an instinct, and, well, don't you say trusting your instincts is sometimes the best thing?
Just make sure we do not get lost. I suggest we make a marking whenever we take a crossing, showing us which way is back.
I have plenty of chalk on me. Hands each of you a stick of chalk.
I'd like to take a stick of chalk.
Someone might also be telling you where to go, and that might not be a good thing.
It doesn't feel like it.
Right.
And so no objects, Leon's going to start heading in the direction he feels, marking
right.
the corners.
Leon heads off down to the left and begins making a crazy array of maddening twists and turns throughout the various corners. Maybe a 10-12 minute trip through the darkened areas of the sewer. Feet guiding with perfect precision exactly where to turn and where to duck. And, oh, it looks like there was a rusted iron grate there, and that was like a spike trap, and oh, there's a pit down there, just casually, just leap over that a little bit, put a board up, you're good. Leon is booking it with great, precise haste, leading to a... Well, it wouldn't look like much. It's a stone archway, but it's been bricked up. And you would think, looking at it, that it might just be like a feature of the old High Rock sewers. Doesn't really stand out at all, with just nothing but a bit of trash amongst all of the rubble. But as Leon approaches, his practiced eye notices fragments of frayed runes along the archway, which would signify that at one point this was a sanctum of a cult of necromancers. And he's pretty sure that he could get this bricked area open. It's like a secret door thing. You just press that rune right there, and then it'll light up with amethyst energy, and it'll slide inward, and bam, he's in.
Okay.
And that really eerie feeling of having been here before doesn't go away.
Well, you all see then Leon stop at the archway, pause, examine it for a moment. That was not quite what I was expecting to find here, but
What did you expect?
I wasn't entirely sure. However, from what it seems, a secret door leading to a possible cult of necromancy was not one of them. Points to Dwohurim, so he can see the runes. He probably recognise a rune or two somewhere.
Again,
Sure,
the links
sure, and
between
we'll try
you
to
and
take a look at him.
necromancers.
Here,
Does he
Harsca,
recognize
give me a decipher script skill check.
Well, he's a shaper. He's read sort of weird, archaic instructions and scripts before,
Sure.
especially written in architecture.
Yeah, go ahead and use that along with your intelligence modifier and level. These look like, well, at the very least, they're protective runes, enabling their readers, should they be able to fully decipher them, which Dwohurim cannot, to open up the secret door, which would allow further entry.
You will make this remark to Leon.
Nods. Same impression I got, and I'm pretty sure that that rune together should be able to open it. Should we, though? Is the question. Looks for you.
Looks at it, sort of moving his hand to his head, and just shakes his head in his arm. I don't know, Leon. I'm not feeling well. I don't sleep well at the moment, and well, I don't know. I cannot help you make this choice.
Looks to be able to see if they have anything they want to say.
Well, I don't know anything about necromantic cults.
We probably shouldn't have too many of them around, though, should we?
So Fargus
Tempus
has done
snorts.
some undead hunting in his day. Probably hasn't spent too much time with cults, though, no.
To be
Probably
fair,
not.
in the time that we've gotten to know each other, we have came across a lich that conquered a town.
But she was nice, right?
There's no real reason to think it was a lich.
I mean, we're here to explore, and we're standing in front of something that can be explored. It would seem silly to just turn around now.
An excellent idea. As Leon goes forward and begins activating the runes.
Sherm steps back a little bit.
Yeah, Fargus as well.
So they have
As is Leon's prediction, once the runes are pressed, the entire bricked up archway glows, and Leon has the suspicion that had he pressed the incorrect runes, it would have activated a rather ghastly trap. Fortuitously, he knew what he was doing, and the bricks hinge inward, revealing a dark, narrow staircase leading downward.
Tempus, you're interested in going down with me?
Tempus is already walking beside you.
Alright. You folks can transfer yourselves to a new map called Ruined Sanctum.
oh,
There's gonna be goodies in here. Necromantic books galore.
And you should recognize this dungeon tile set. This is my first time ever having used it. But I know it is
Wait.
quite popular with MapTool.
I'm pretty sure Manaki recognize it from all the times I've used it.
loading. So,
And you'll recognize it from all the times Manaki has used it.
I'll be a while.
I'm kind of curious to see which one it is.
Leon, just carry me with you. I'll just be a box.
I've already finished loading because I have all the textures.
Damn you.
I'm just wondering, see if I'm loading textures, does it save it permanently onto my computer, or is it just like a temporary download cache?
It'll be into your cache until you close MapTool, unless you actually have the textures, in which case Dark does, so... Fine.
I was gonna say, if it was the case in the latter one, no wonder, like, with all the times I've played D&D, it's probably about several gigs.
Yes. The stone stairs are very narrow and full of quite a bit of dust. The ceiling isn't the most stable, and perhaps all of the damage High Rock sustained in the process of it being destroyed and overrun by monsters created a situation where the architecture became a little unstable. That being said, it appears to be safe enough to traverse, although those narrow stairs are really a pain in the ass. Yes, dim light sources provided by Leon's dancing lights, effectively. Those are the only lights at all to help you make your way down.
Takes a long time to load this, apparently.
It shouldn't take a long time. This is like one of my smaller maps entirely.
It's because it's downloading them all equally, and it's like 1 kilobyte for you, 1 for you. Oh, okay, 1
There
for
we
you.
I'm still
I'm
at
done.
60.
I'm at 36, so.
I'm here
God
now.
damn it.
36?
Ah,
30? What the fuck? There's no 30.
there are 37, but
Yeah,
that's
there are
because all
37.
the characters just got posted here, I think.
Oh,
No,
there,
wait,
17.
no,
There's
I'm
two
doing-
Tempuses.
there were some dungeon tiles I accidentally left behind. I left them as scrap, and oh, I forgot to remove them. The number
it
should
was
have been
actually
reduced.
37, so.
Ancient dwarven architecture, I see.
Yes.
Yeah, apparently I get none of the bandwidth from you.
Everyone
By the
I
way,
probably have the fastest internet here, and I'm
Gryph,
still
you loaded?
last to load.
I'm loaded, I'm here, I'm safe.
All right.
Thomas will suggest that Leon takes point and Thomas takes the rear guard.
Alright,
Tempus
then.
will stay up near the front then.
I'll be after Tempus.
The ruined sanctum, as it could be called, smells heavily of stale air, as if the only real access to the surface was the archway that you just opened, and maybe a little bits of cracks leading all the way up. Not that much in the way of air filtration at all, and it is difficult to breathe down here, which is not a problem for everyone, but most everyone who would want to explore. The small hallway leading down from the narrow stairs continues to an intersection and then beyond. There appears to be some grates here, latched, and a ruined statue from a rather large hunk of stone that fell from above, having crushed it completely. Very narrow walkway. The ceiling there's not that much room above you. Maybe a total of, it's less than 3 meters.
Thomas hasn't even entered the level yet.
Dum, 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 dum.
Everyone just want to hide in there.
I'm gonna move on, Tempus. It's a little cramped.
Okay.
This
Great, and
This appears to be a pool of stagnant blood, which has remained lingering within the stone frame containing it. Apparently, at one point there used to be there's like a demon's mouth sort of thing, and like blood would like flow out of it and into the pool, but that no longer works.
Looks like the plumbing got wrecked.
Let's see here.
I'm wondering where they were getting the fluids for the plumbing from.
Demons,
Yes, I wonder.
I doubt.
maybe? Well.
I'll.
Hey, what's that over there?
Perhaps I shouldn't reveal that much. I mean, my goodness, you guys don't have strong light sources.
Shadows will point over at the shadows.
This here, a wrecked statue, along with, this apparently was perhaps maybe a burial room of some sorts, but all of the coffins where individuals would have been kept have been crushed, either by debris from above, or perhaps from creatures within them. This statue has been wrecked beyond recognition from all the chunks of stone that fell from above.
Does there appear to be anything in the grates?
It is impossible to see through them. Too caked are they with stone and debris.
Is there like a large layer of dust on the ground?
Yes. You're stepping through it right
Any
now.
footprints in the dust?
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
there are your footprints. You're certainly able to make a tracking skill check of sorts if you'd like to try.
Yeah, Fargus should look in this hole here where we haven't been and see if there are any footprints there.
Okay.
So would that be wisdom and
Yes, it'd be wisdom, plus your tracking background, plus your level.
right?
Fargus is confident that no one has been here for years.
Alright. That's good to know.
Unless they don't leave tracks, in which case Fargus is a bit out of his element.
Yeah, I guess so.
I was down here is flying, clearly.
Ghost?
No longer quite as strong, so it's anyone's guess now.
You can hear
It's
the
a Tempus.
faint hum of the city above you, which may or may not be the GM's air conditioner.
Air conditioner. I mean,
Dang that Drakenhall subway. Tempus will actually see if there's a lock on the grate.
There is no lock on the grate, no. But
So
it
Tempus
is
is able to
completely
open it.
completely rusted shut.
Oh, okay, alright.
You can attempt to pry it open if you'd like.
No, Tempus was just trying to see if it was firmly locked down, just in case, you know. It's always good to keep an idea of things.
The metal appears to be a bit warped, in addition to having been coated by debris, heavily rusted. It does not appear to be that operable, not without forcing it open.
Tempus is confident with it. He'll stand back up from kneeling and get up.
Let's move on then. Pick a route.
I say through the undead coffin room.
Right.
as you almost dived into the pool.
Your boots crush spiders in your wake, As you step into the room, looking through the only passageway leading out, it appears to be another set of stairs leading to more broken coffins. Alright. Also, okay, Sheep already added his bonus command points for this relationship die. Alright, good.
Yep, I did.
Do there appear to be any sort of visible etchings or information about who these coffins might have contained?
You can attempt to analyze the incredibly frayed and wrecked writing, if you'd like, using the same roll that you made to try to decipher script back at the archway.
Alright, so we don't do that.
Can I try the same?
You could attempt to, sure.
Would you say my Order of the Twilight Cross would apply for this, or...?
Sure, that'll work.
Oh.
Leon isn't certain at all. He can't make heads or tails of this. These appear to have been individuals who are not any names that Dwohurim recognizes, but however they were buried, it was ritualistic burials within these coffins, designed to be specifically interred and then at a later date removed as undead.
Oh.
The coffins appeared to have been a bit magical in nature, although that magic has completely escaped them. But apparently they had some sort of combination effect along with a ritual to create powerful undead.
Well, that's alarming. I'll tell the others that these coffins, seems that they were made to create undead. Whatever corpse was laid in them would then later rise. It's a very powerful being.
Tempus just sort of raised the finger. Are they all destroyed or inoperable?
Oh, I'll take a look.
Go ahead. Stepping in there. Dwohurim feels that, I mean, if he wanted to use his shaver powers, he could repair them, but that still wouldn't put the magic back in them.
He doesn't really want to repair these evil undecreation coffins. But they do seem to all be broken. Yes.
Broken, not beyond repair for a shaper, but even then the magic's gone. They'd have to effectively be re-enchanted all over again.
There's no point. They would just become, coffins. I don't think that's the sort of thing we're going to drag out of here to sell.
What is this right here?
Collection of cobwebs and tablets which are so frayed that it is near impossible to try to read them.
Ah, I see.
At the intersection, your dim light sources can see a bit further. There is another intersection further to your south, and over here there are two constant light sources. Perhaps, torches which will remain lit at all times. So it's minor magical enchantment. It exists quite frequently along the highways and the greatest cities of the Empire. And a collection of arcane books, some papers, and 3 items of note and worth, by the looks of things. They just stand out. They look different. One would be a suit of leather armor hanging from a rack, which appears to smell musty and foul. There is also a glowing rod along this wall here. And then, upon seeing this, a steel blade with moving lines of colored energy curling and weaving across it, Leon has another eerie sense of deja vu, and the word Hexenblade comes unbidden to his mind.
Huh.
Sherm looks into the room, intrigued.
Leon equally does so. It kind of just starts following the instinct towards, well, the blade in question.
Yes.
Wherever it might be in the room.
Okay. Leon can certainly find it. It is a great sword. Massively tall, and despite all of the years it may have spent down here collecting dust and cobwebs, the blade still shines with energy and light.
Leon will examine it under his breath, muttering the eerie word he heard, Hexen Blade.
You will have to, for the other magical items, make sort of like intelligence sort of skill checks if you'd like to examine this. This, however, will not be necessary for Hexen Blade. It is a steel blade with moving lines of colored energy curling and weaving across it. This weapon, which is a champion tier 1, doubles as a magical implement. You may add the usual item bonus of +2 to hit and damage to arcane spells that you cast. In addition, although this isn't too much for Leon, casting a ranged spell while engaged does not provoke attacks, provided at least one of the targets of your spell is an enemy that you are engaged with. It also has a quirk, and as it is a champion tier item, this counts as 2 magic items for you to carry. It obviously fills your weapon chakra as well as your magical implement chakra. And the quirk I will go ahead and give to you, Dark, as this weapon attunes itself to you.
Impressive sword.
Well, in that case, I guess I have to unfill it, fill my weapon chakra with icy, because this thing I want. I like it.
The Hexen Blade, which is intelligent and politely insistent, is rather forceful, and even if you didn't want to unbind the Icy Greatsword, it would actually attempt to impose itself upon you, as if it feels comfortable in your hands.
Well, I'm willingly unbinding, so you can be happy.
Icy Greatsword's pretty sad about this.
Oh,
Like, yaw.
look at that little thing.
But yes, champion tier greatsword, which doubles as a magical implement. So +2 to hit and attack with your melee attacks and your spell attacks. Hidden damage.
Okay then. Leon will just be examining it while, Dwohurim can look at the rod or something.
Alright, sure. Well, here we'll look at the 2 other things. He thinks that he's probably the most intelligent one, and the one who's best at looking.
There's a suit of leather armor, and then there is the staff, which has a slight glow to it. A glowing rod.
Well, let's take a look at that.
Alright, go ahead and give me an intelligence-based skill check. You can use your level and your magical background for this. Okay. With that sort of roll, the Dwohurim... Let me think here. Dwohurim... Something isn't right about the item. He's not entirely sure, not without picking it up and trying to use it. Maybe it has, a curse to it, or it could just have, a really bad or powerful quirk. But he's not able to get more out of the situation.
Look to Leon and sort of look at his own wand, and then he'll go look at the leather armor, saying to us that that one seems weird. Like something's wrong with it. It has a strong personality, but I don't know wish to bind with it immediately. Certainly.
We're standing in the secret lair of a necromantic cult. There is a pool of blood over there, and that is weird.
I can't explain what is about it. If someone picks it up, I'm sure they will find out.
Leon
Let's not do that.
Leon will now curiously look at it. He's now intrigued. Really won't find out any more than Dwohurim did.
The leather armor and try to discern it with himself. Is this like his human skin, or something like that? Super creepy.
Doesn't appear to be made out of human skin. No, it appears to be made out of animal hide.
Well, that's fortunate. I'll try to. Is it the same roll?
Yeah, it'll be the same roll. And if you want to do, Dwohurim thinks the leather armor is perfectly fine. It is magical, though. And magical items have a tendency to identify themselves whenever you pick it up and try to use it.
Sure. He'll look to Fargus. What armor does Fargus seem to be wearing?
He does have a leather armor. I believe he had a medical one. I don't really remember though.
You should kind of write it down.
I know.
If you don't have it down, then you don't have a piece of magical armor.
What? I think we found one in like the Ravinger's place, right?
Yeah, we did.
You have the leather armor of warding. Who's wearing that? I thought it was.
I think
I thought it was.
I'm
Tempus.
wearing that. I did write it down, but then I didn't save my character, so.
Tempus, are you wearing a magical leather armor?
Tempest shakes his head. The only magical thing I've got is this ring.